Alright, so here we are. A clean board against the computer. Um, so I get to go first in a 9 by 9. Quite often the center point is the best. This isn't the case on very large boards. Um, it's arguable whether or not a center stone is the best, or not the best, if a center stone is a good opening move. But just take a look at professional games and you'll find that, well, if you search really hard, you can find a professional game with the center point being the first move. There's a reason it's hard to find those games. Um, Again, like I said in a previous match, usually the 3-4s or a 4-4 is common for a big board. On a 9 by 9, a 3-3 is not bad, but for the very initial move, the center point is also good just because it's so close to everything. Alright, so um, white took a corner, which is expected. Um, I would not expect white to go for directly on one of the sides, nor would I expect a touching move right off the bat because it's just advantage to whoever gets touched. It makes it easier for them to live. So I'm going to try to um, keep white over here on this end. There we go. And now I could do it again. I could go straight over here, but white's pretty safe at this point. Um, Not assuredly alive, but can jump to one corner over the either if they get attacked. So if I just build a wall here, I can pretty much expect and almost guarantee that white is going to start a new group on the other side. And while I might get a lot of influence and have this nice strong wall in the center, I might end up with only 3 or 4 points and white will have a group on each end, and that won't work well for me. So I think I will go ahead and put a little bit of pressure on white and see if this drives them to the other side of me. Alright, they're touching, and touching is fine. I'm okay with this. Um, I have a bit of an advantage with 2 stones here compared to his one. These aren't offering a lot of support, so I can either go under or over. I mean, there are a lot of things I can do, but I'm considering over or under to be one of the better moves. And since I already am reaching out in this direction, which minimizes what he might be able to do out here, I'm going to go under. There we go. Now, I don't want these stones to connect to that stone because that makes it very easy and efficient for him to live because he'll only have to make 2 eyes for all 3 of them. So I'm going to try to keep these separate, like so. Alright, again, maintaining the cut. And here he's provided me with a choice. Does this stone connect to these? Because if I go straight, he can just play a stone here or here. Or do they connect to those? I'm going to let this connect to those and keep these 2 stones weak. Good. Now, this group will probably live. This stone isn't really doing too much. It's providing aji. That means aftertaste, or it still has some effect on the game. For instance, I don't want this stone to connect here, but it's not really a big threat to me. What I'll do is try to limit um, just how big this group of 3 can get, and who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and kill it. There we go. I hit it on the head and he blocks, and if I don't follow through here, he'll get an easy Atari and a connection, and sure, there's some fighting I can do, but I don't like that result. Okay. Now again, this group I've always been saying is almost assuredly alive. Right now he's attacking this stone, which again is just 1 stone for me. And if he kills it, obviously there's no killing him at all. But he's neglected this group. So I think it's a fair trade to let him attack this stone if I can kill this group. So I'm going to focus over here. Okay, he blocks. I can either jump back here and protect this stone. I could play elsewhere. Or I can take. I kind of like the idea of taking. And it's starting to look like I might be able to finish this off. I'd love to address these two stones, but before I do that, I really need to make sure these are going to stay dead if I ignore this group right now. So, if I wanted to make sure they stay dead right now, I could simply play here or even here, and it would be done. If I ignore it though, if I Tanuki, it means play elsewhere, then if he wants to live, he'll block here. And then if I connect and he plays down or he connects, um, no, only if he plays down would he be able to live. If all he did was connect, then, well, actually, I think he could live. So I'm going to go ahead and make one more move here and ensure he stays down. Good. Now for these stones, um, we want to make sure that these stones die too. If he plays a white stone here, this black stone dies for sure, so don't let that happen. Again, I was willing to sacrifice this stone earlier. If I save it now and he tries to cut, I can put it in Atari. He plays back. If I go here, I get cut here. Or if I play here, I'll get cut on that side, won't I? So, don't let that happen. I'm going to play a move that both protects this cut and that stone at the same time. There we go. I'm pretty confident I can keep these stones dead. So I'm going to limit the size of this group by playing under here. Now, is this a threat? If he plays under, can he live? I don't think so. So I'm going to continue with my attack and attempt to minimize the size of this group. There we go. Just save my stones there. These stones remain dead. There's just nowhere to get two eyes. He can't make an eye here. He could make one eye down here if he tried real hard, but one's not enough. So now to make sure this group stays dead, stop under here, preventing any foolishness there, and if this group is to live, it needs to have a stone here and here. So he's not there yet, and I don't really have to do anything. There we go. Now I have to worry. If he plays there, he lives. So let's don't let him live. Don't let him cut. You see he just has one eye. It's not going to do much with one eye. Now the computer may be doing weird things because it thinks I have one eye only here. But I'm move away from two eyes by placing here. Of course he could take it, but then I could take this stone and have eyes over here. So there's no concern for me. I'm just going to continue minimizing this group. Actually, playing here creates a little difficult situation where I might have a ko that I'm not really in a position to win. And the same is kind of true here, except I'm in even worse situation. So let me address that. Good. And here. Now, is there any advantage to me playing here? If I play here, he takes, and we have a ko threat forcing him to play back if I win. If I just play up, he goes there, and I think I actually have an interesting attack at that point. So let's go for the interesting attack. Oh, it's not interesting enough. Oh well. I don't have to be upset about the lack of interest. that just occurred because all these white stones are dead. I have 1, 2, 3 eyes. I think after this, white will most likely pass and the game will end. So I'm going to pass. Oh, he was a bit afraid. He was petrified. There we go. Black wins by 40. Okay. Well, I should see a pretty good jump after a 40-point win, so see you in the next video.